This is Iran. This is Israel. Before 1979, under the rule of Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, Iran and Israel were close strategic allies. Their relationship was built on the classic principle, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Neither country was Arab, and both shared concerns about the rise of Arab nationalism led by Egypt's Gamal Abdel Nasser, as well as the growing influence of the Soviet Union in the region. The two nations engaged in several key strategic partnerships. At the time, Iraq was persecuting its Jewish population, and Israel wanted to rescue its people. So, they arranged for Jewish Iraqis to be smuggled out of Iraq through Iranian territory, Iran being a neighbor that also wasn't too fond of Iraq. In return, Iran received a hefty payment from Israel for this service. Iran was also Israel's main, actually, only, oil supplier in the Middle East, helping Israel bypass the Arab oil embargo. In exchange, Israel sold weapons to Iran. Israel's Mossad worked closely with SAVAK, the Shah's feared secret police, helping with training and operations. On top of that, Israel assisted Iran in developing agriculture, technology, and infrastructure. Honestly, it looked like a perfect match, two countries filling in each other's missing pieces. But here's the big question, if things were going so well, why did Iran suddenly break up with its beloved partner? The answer, religion. This is King Pahlavi. He was very close to the West, especially the United States, so it made perfect sense that Iran and Israel had friendly relations at the time. And here's Khomeini. He aligned himself with the Islamic bloc and harbored strong anti-Western sentiments. After the revolution that overthrew the pro-Western monarchy led by the Shah and brought Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini to power, Iran's nature and foreign policy underwent a complete transformation. The new regime was built on a theocratic foundation rooted in Shia Islam, with a strong anti-imperialist and anti-Zionist ideology that rejected the legitimacy of Israel, the very foundation of the Israeli state. In Khomeini's eyes, Israel was essentially an American outpost, what he called the Little Satan, in the Middle East. He believed Israel had illegally occupied land belonging to Muslims and Arabs. As a result, Iran immediately severed all diplomatic and commercial ties with Israel. The Israeli embassy in Tehran was handed over to the Palestine Liberation Organization. Due to deep ideological differences, relations between the two nations quickly soured. However, at that time, the hostility remained mostly rhetorical and hadn't yet escalated into the kind of intense conflict we see today.
I want to beat the hell out of Israel, but I don't want to get my hands dirty.
Got it, sir.
So, Iran built and funded a network of proxy armed groups. This strategy allows Iran to strike at Israel while maintaining plausible deniability. Some notable examples include Hezbollah in Lebanon. This is Iran's most successful and powerful proxy force. Hezbollah is considered the most immediate and serious military threat on Israel's northern border. They possess a massive arsenal of rockets and a wide range of guided missiles. The group fought a guerrilla war against Israel for 18 years, ultimately forcing Israel to withdraw from southern Lebanon in 2000. Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Iran's support for these groups helps maintain constant pressure on Israel from the southern border and reinforces Iran's image as a defender of the Palestinian cause. Iran's ambitions in pursuing nuclear technology have long been a point of international tension. While Iran insists that its nuclear program is solely for peaceful purposes, mainly energy production, Israel and many Western countries believe that Tehran is secretly working to develop nuclear weapons. To Israel, the idea of a nuclear-armed Iran, especially one driven by a hostile ideology and equipped with long-range ballistic missiles, represents an existential threat that could potentially wipe the Jewish state off the map. In response, Israel has carried out a wide-ranging covert campaign aimed at stopping Iran's nuclear ambitions. Cyber attacks, the most well-known is the Stuxnet virus, believed to be a joint operation by the US and Israel. It sabotaged Iran's uranium enrichment centrifuges in 2010. Assassinations. Several top Iranian nuclear scientists have been mysteriously assassinated. Tehran has consistently blamed Israel's Mossad for these killings. Airstrikes and sabotage. A number of Iran's nuclear and military facilities have suffered from unexplained explosions and fires. Diplomatic pressure. Israel has actively lobbied the international community, especially the United States, to impose harsh sanctions on Iran. In recent years, the shadow war between Iran and Israel has become increasingly open and direct. On April 1, 2024, an airstrike, believed to have been carried out by Israel, destroyed Iran's consulate building in Damascus, Syria, killing several senior commanders of the IRGC. This was an unprecedented attack on a diplomatic facility. In response, during the night of April 13 to 14, 2024, Iran launched its first-ever direct military attack on Israeli territory, deploying hundreds of drones, cruise missiles, and ballistic missiles. The vast majority were intercepted by Israeli defenses and its allies. This marked a dangerous turning point, breaking the long-standing, unspoken rules of their shadow conflict and opening the door to the risk of a full-scale regional war. To this day, the conflict has reached a boiling point, with both nations exchanging missile fire over each other's skies in a cycle of retaliation. These hostilities have caused immense suffering and loss for the people on both sides. What are your thoughts on this issue? Share your opinion in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.